Okay, fourth graders, today we're going to be looking at the story, The History of Radio. And when you are listening to this, I want you to be thinking about the last story we read last week, The Invasion from Mars. And after the story, we're going to be looking at how this relates, how these two texts relate to one another.
Lesson 6. Informational text. Genre. Informational text, such as this article, gives information about a topic. The information can be organized under headings. Informational text often includes photographs. Text focus. Historical text is a kind of informational text that tells about a topic in history. It is usually told in sequential order with dates as well as transitional words to help readers keep track of events. Historical text often includes a timeline that shows a series of events. What does the timeline in this article show? The History of Radio by Vivian Fernandez. The beginning of radio. We can't see them, but radio waves are all around us. In the late 1800s, Guglielmo Marconi used radio waves to send and receive a signal through the air. At first, the signal only went short distances. Marconi kept working, and soon he was sending signals over several miles. By the early 1900s, people were using radio technology to send and receive messages across oceans. However, these messages were not voices. They had to be sent in Morse code. Then, on December 24th, 1906, Reginald Fessenden made the first transmission of speech and music. He had found a way to change the sounds of voices and music into a signal that could be carried by radio waves. The home. By the 1920s, more and more people had radios at home. Families listened to the radio like we watch television. Many listened to music, but soon radio stations came up with different kinds of programs, which were often broadcast live. Families could listen to the radio to hear music, comedies, and stories. One show was maybe too exciting. On October 30th, 1938, Orson Welles presented The War of the Worlds. Millions of people listened to the radio show about an alien attack, and some believed that what they heard was real. Another kind of radio drama told stories about families. They were called soaps. This is because soap makers paid for most of these shows. Saturday mornings and after school were times for children's shows. Buck Rogers in the 25th century, Superman, and Popeye were some children's shows. The radio was also a way for families to hear about news. On March 12, 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt gave the first of his fireside chats. Later, during World War II, radio stations reported what was happening. After World War II, people turned away from radio to television. Many radio programs stopped airing. Some shows that had been on the radio, such as The Lone Ranger, were now on television. Orson Welles directed and performed in many radio plays. Radio has a lot of competition. Besides television and movies, many people turn to the internet for entertainment and news. Internet radio does not use radio waves, but like radio, you can listen to music and shows anywhere. Regular radio is limited by how far radio signals can reach. In time, we will see if radio survives this new kind of competition. Many people first heard about the sinking of the Titanic over the radio. Millions of Americans listened to President Roosevelt's fireside chats on the radio. Early days of radio. 1895. Guglielmo Marconi sends and receives first radio signal through the air. 1901. Marconi receives first radio signal across the Atlantic Ocean. 1906. Reginald Fessenden sends first transmission of human voice. 1912. A message about the RMS Titanic sinking is sent through radio transmission, saving many lives. 1920. First radio commercial broadcast in the United States reports results of presidential election. 1921. First broadcast of baseball and football games. 1922. First radio commercial in the United States for real estate in New York.